With the help of the Almighty, I pray to the Almighty to bestow upon me His truth, His wisdom, that I may be worthy of conveying His message and so sanctify His name and bring, inshallah, peace to the world. Assalamu alaikum. Today happens to be, besides the worldwide commemoration of our Quds Day, it is the day that in the 1920s, maybe the first famous martyr who died to oppose this evil of Zionism was assassinated. On this day, in the Jewish date of Quds Sivan, somebody called Dr. Yisroel Dahan, a diplomat from Denmark who traveled to Palestine and tried to extricate the Jewish people from the claws of the Zionists, was cold-bloodedly assassinated in front of Shaarei Tzedek Hospital by the Haganah, which is today the IDF, the terrorist organization called IDF. Maybe I would think that there was the first famous martyr, and he was a Jew. What was he doing? He didn't have a bomb on him. He simply stood up and pleaded with the world that it's unacceptable to occupy a people. It's unacceptable to oppress a people. It's illegitimate. It's unlawful. And ultimately, it's against the Almighty who rules this world. He died for this. And since that day, and well before that day, and but up to today, Jews, Palestinians, Muslims, Christians are dying simply because they're standing up and demanding and pleading for their godly given rights to live on this world. And the world is silent. The world is deaf. Why is the world deaf to such a logical demand? There are human rights activists throughout the world. Where are they for the cause of Palestine? But this is the works of the Shaitan, of the Satan. He has created a confusion. He has presented the world with a narrative that was created by the Zionists. The narrative is that we have a religious conflict, that we have the Muslims who hate the Jews. How dare they speak such words when Jews for 2,000 years found a safe haven in the Arab houses, in the Arab villages, in the Arab countries? How dare they, when for 1,000 years Jews were embraced by the Muslim countries, in every Muslim country Jews were able to escape by the Inquisition, by the Crusades, and by World War II, and throughout history. Where did we turn? When we were being burnt at the stake, we turned to the Muslim countries, and we were accepted and given a safe haven, respected, and we flourished in their countries. And there was no United Nations and no human rights groups to protect us, and it was absolutely not necessary. So how dare these Zionists? There are problems in the Holy Land is because the Palestinians hate other people. This is despicable. It is unacceptable. There could be nothing further from the truth. This is not a religious conflict. Zionism does not represent Judaism, nor does it represent the voice of the Jews around the world. There are many Jews, and invariably the truly religious Jews stand in opposition to the mere existence of this state, the Zionist state of Israel. And why? Because we are Jews. Because the Torah tells us, thou shalt not steal. One is forbidden to oppress another people. Just as God is compassionate, you must be compassionate. How dare they oppress a people? How dare they oppress a good human being? And human beings who are our neighbors, who babysat our children, we are required to show our gratitude. Where do they come with this? But from the depth of evil. The Torah states that since the destruction of the temple 2,000 years ago, Jews are forbidden to have their own sovereignty. And for 2,000 years, Jews did not make their own state. Although we suffered, we went through trials and tribulations, we never aspired or tried to create our own nationalism, our own state. And why? There were times that's called the golden age of Judaism. We could have simply and easily afforded a piece of land. But Jews knew the basics of Judaism is that God decreed our exile and we're forbidden to have our own sovereignty, our own state, and Jews respected that. So for 2,000 years we never created a so-called Jewish state with great leaders, great leaders that we had, the Rambam, the Morale of Prague, all our great leaders, our saints, they never made a state. And now Zionism, which is a creation of a mere 150 years around. Remember, Judaism is 3,000 years old. Jews stood on Mount Sinai and accepted this covenant of being subservient to God. Zionism is a mere 100-odd years. How dare they speak in my name? Judaism is subservient to God. Zionism is a transformation to a nationalism, a base material concept of having a land with an Olympic team and a despicable, strong army. This is not my Judaism. You've hijacked my Judaism. My grandparents died in Auschwitz because they were Jews. Throughout history, we died to uphold our subservience to God and not betray God. And these despicable Zionists, have the audacity to tell the world that they represent this holiness, this Judaism, and they have a right to the land when God states that we are forbidden to take a piece of land, especially when you are taking this land by uprooting its citizens, its inhabitants. This is unacceptable. We are here. We've heard beautiful words about human rights. But we are, as a Jew, come here. I, as a messenger for my brethren, my sisters and brothers from Jerusalem who are also presently demonstrating in our Quds in Jerusalem, and for my Jewish brethren throughout the world. Our message is that the Zionist state of Israel does not represent we pray to the Almighty that with His compassion, this end should come speedily and peacefully, without any further bloodshed and suffering. We are yearning and waiting for the opportunity to turn to our old neighbors, to the Palestinian people and their brothers and sisters thrown throughout the world in refugee camps that people don't even know their names and they don't know they exist, from Sabra Shaltila to the others all out the world, that we can turn to them and say, come back and take your land. We profusely apologize for what has been done to you. Of course, we cannot bring back the dead, the millions who have been maimed, who have been damaged mentally by this occupation. But we can attempt to stand up and speak out. We do not look that we will be able to bring results. It doesn't seem possible. They're in the United Nations. They're recognized. They're given powers. But there's a bigger power than all of that. There is one who the whole world stands by His will, and that is the Almighty. And to Him we turn. And just like the USSR overnight disappeared, the Almighty, with His compassion, will bring an end to this occupation. But we feel that we have to tell everybody, yes, pray, that's the first thing. But secondly, God requires of us to speak up and do. Maybe you don't see the accomplishment, but we are required to do, to stand up for what is righteous, what is just, and stand against injustice. Speak out for the people of Palestine. Speak out for the people in Gaza. Maybe you just passed some areas where the sun was burning. Think of your brethren in Gaza who are sweltering under the sun without any proper electric, without any air conditioning, without any proper dwellings. Think about the cold nights. Think about the water that is not drinkable. Think about that they're being ignored because human rights groups are afraid to take up their case because they're fearful of being labeled anti-Semitic. You must stand up. We are trying to encourage you and tell you, when you are accused of being anti-Semitic, say, excuse me, how come in Meir Sharim? How come in Jerusalem and how Quds in Meir Sharim?
All lives matter! Woo!
If you will go to New York, right across from Manhattan, it's the largest concentration of religious Jews, and we are Brooklyn. There is not one single Israeli flag. Because the more the religious Jew, the more he opposes this occupation, this existence of the state of Israel. This state of Israel is the root cause of endless rivers of blood of Palestinians and Jews. They are the greatest exacerbator of anti-Semitism throughout the world. That is a fact. Jews flourished in Muslim countries. Where are they? Marches into France and says, Jews, come up to Palestine because you're not being protected in France. You evil man! You are the one who is causing Jews to not be safe. We're not condoning violence. But they, by confusing Judaism and Zionism, they are causing the exacerbation of anti-Semitism. Release the world of this evil called Zionism, and we can live together in peace as we've had for so many hundreds of years. We plead with the world.
Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free.
We plead with the world to step out of this box of this old narrative that was hand-delivered by the Satan that states this is a religious conflict and the hundreds of years, the Jewish community has flourished there. It's for anybody to see. And what is the problem then? If it's not a religious conflict, what is it? It's a foreign object, a piece of sand that was put in somebody's eyeball. And the eye is irritated. And they're trying to make all different types of medication to keep that piece of sand in the eye. Remove that piece of sand from the eye and there'll be peace. Remove this foreign object from Jerusalem, from our Quds, and the Jews and the Muslims and the Christians can live in peace. This interloper, this foreign neighbor, with their flawed, selfish political movement called Zionism that they're trying to force down the throats of God's humanity, is causing havoc, bloodshed, and they're trying to confuse the world by claiming this is religious conflict, and it's the Hamas and Hezbollah and this guy and that guy. Don't terrorize us with your evil. It's you. It's your creation of an illegitimate, illegal state on the heads and shoulders of God's creation, the Palestinian people. Remove it and we'll have peace. So people that are throughout the world, speak to your politicians. Plead with them. Don't be intimidated by this Zionism, by their cohorts, by their lackeys, by their representatives. You may lose the election, but it's worth it. Speak up and say, no, this is evil, and that the victims are the Palestinians, the victims are the Jewish people who are being stifled, who are being arrested today as we are here. They're being forced, the Israelis are trying to force them into their armies, and they're being brutally beaten, arrested, and assassinated because they refuse to serve in their army. As we're standing here, my Jewish brethren and sisters are being arrested because they refuse to serve in the Israeli army. We have tens of thousands of Jews last week in Berkeley Hall, in Berkeley Center, and in the streets of New York, in the streets of Jerusalem, and nobody covers this. Why? Because Israel is considered the holy cow. Because Israel you can't touch, and nobody reports the news of the demonstrations. It is not a holy cow. It is a dead cow. It is a piece of evil. Remember, plead with your politicians that they should not be intimidated. And remember, it's a base political movement that was created 100 odd years ago, almost 150 years ago, with a flawed ideology. And it's simply flawed, and it didn't work. It didn't work. Don't try to force a square into a circle. It didn't work. Step out of this and let's start new. And let's try to figure out how we can create peace. And the simple resolution will be, instead of rebelling against God, remove the impediment, this flawed movement of Zionism, and then we will have peace. So I plead with you, speak up, pray to God, and speak up. And inshallah, sooner nowadays, God with His mercy will bring about a free Palestine. Will bring about a time when we can all serve God together as we've had for these hundreds and hundreds of years. We pray to God that with His compassion He should bring the ultimate redemption, where He will reveal His glory throughout the world, where all humanity will serve Him in harmony. Amen. Assalamu alaikum.